Hey everyone, we are on day 8 of the 31-day spiritual upgrade, and it is Flexi Monday here for me. So I have popped some prompts in the description, and I've been doing work on myself all day, and I'm going to invite you to join in on this work with me as well. So Dan Sullivan and Benjamin Hardy, they talk about future self quite a lot, and they talk about making your past brighter and your future bigger. So go check out the prompts, because to know spirit is to know thyself, and to know thyself is to actually heal the past, to jump into the future, to see our future as bigger. So where were you 5 years ago? I've been doing this stuff in my very high level business mastermind. So where were you 5 years ago? So today I have done talking with my future self. I've been writing copious amounts of notes and letters to myself. So I've written a letter to my future self. So basically a letter to myself saying where I'll be in 5 years' time from now. So I've done that today. I have also had my future self talk to my past self. There is a book called Personality Isn't Permanent by Benjamin Hardy. It's a recommendation that I recommend to you guys. I have just purchased it, so I'm going to be listening to that as well. If we have got Achilles heels, so in other words, addictions, things that are slowing us down, we can be addicted to drama, we can be addicted to substances, we can be addicted to negativity, like negative thoughts and conversations with ourselves. When we do this, we are disconnecting from spirit, because spirit is a 5D connection coming from our heart. So looking at our Achilles heel, so 5 years ago, my Achilles heel was caffeine, sugar, alcohol. And I thought I was pretty good because I had, and if you're jumping on, come and say hello. Let me know that you're here. Oh, hey, Tanya. Yeah, I can see the comments. Let me know that you're here. I'm just chilling. This is such a freaking nice day. Doing work on myself, because we have to do our work on ourselves before we serve, right? So I thought that my caffeine, my alcohol, and my sugar was kind of normal, right? Like, only having 3 cups of coffee, only having a couple of wines, 2 or 3 max, occasional cigarette maybe, back then when I was drinking, and sugar. Like, I was living off these things, and now I look back and go, holy shit, they were holding me back exponentially. And I've grown exponentially since I've been able to take responsibility for who I want to be going forward. I was living in a cold house. There was like mold. Me and my husband were like, I so desperately wanted to create more, be more. I was still hairdressing down in my basement. My kids were like 6 and 4, so my little boy wasn't even at school. Where I was 5 years ago was so far from where I am now. And I literally, for those of you that don't know me very well, you've just kind of jumped into my world and you don't know my story, I literally dreamt of this view. I mean, dreamt of it. Over there is like beautiful bush. My son's there with his friend building a hut. They spend all the hours of the day building huts. I've got a view, I don't know if you can see that, like of the actual surf beach right there. It's 2 minutes to walk there. I don't share this to try to impress you, but more to impress upon you that whatever you think about, you can bring about. Whatever you think about, you do bring about. Let's be blunt. Whatever you think about is what you bring about. So an Achilles heel is the thing holding you back. If you had an Achilles tear in your leg, you can't walk. Like, you're in pain, right? So and you can Google it, right? You can go, what is an Achilles heel? It'll tell you in the dictionary. So I have looked at myself, and this isn't about me, right? This is your own personal journey. This is your challenge here. I've looked at myself. I look at myself all the time. I go, where can I take responsibility? Where am I being distracted? Where am I holding myself back? Where can I be a better human being? What is the narratives going on in my brain? Today I've written a letter to my mum. I won't give it to her. I write her letters once a year. I never give them to her because I'm working on myself and my relationship with my mum, right? My relationship with my mum is a different relationship that she has with me. This is a common thread, of course, but so I wrote her a letter telling her how much I love her and how grateful I am for every single thing. I'm healing my past so I can have a brighter past and a bigger future. It's massive. So when I look back to where I was 5 years ago, I can look and go, oh my God, I had it so fucking hard, right? Or I can go, holy shit, well done, Victoria, back 5 years ago for visualizing this house, the marriage, the children, the view, the clients, right? The clients, I've got the best freaking clients in the freaking world. You have no idea. Like, my world is so full, but it doesn't end here. It just begins here. Every day is just the beginning. Every day is just the beginning, right? So the Achilles heel is something that's not a contribution to you, right? So people will often say to me, so when people come into I get all sorts of people, obviously, and I get a lot of very gifted people, and a lot of these people have been told that they have certain, well, I don't know what the word is, like labels, you know. And the interesting thing is I always say, because when entities, we talk about having anything that alters your perspective or your perception, can be detrimental to getting entities attached and night terrors and all that type of stuff. People go, but what about me? I'm on meds and they're serving me. I'm like, well, if they're serving you for the highest good of you, then sweet as. If you don't have a problem with it, and if you know it's serving you and it's good for your body, it's good for your mind, then it's going to be good for your soul, you know? We all have to have coping mechanisms in this world, if it's serving us, right? If it's serving us. So it's really important to know that an Achilles heel is not something that's serving you, it's something that's not serving you. So being caffeined up to try to get through the day may not be serving you. Maybe you're going to be more impulsive than you would, or, you know, creating drama or blaming people around you. Like, what is the narratives going on? There's a common denominator in all of these things, right? So, yeah, Google things, YouTube things. Yeah, so this is what I teach in my business programs as well. It's like, go Google it, go YouTube it, go be a researcher, find these things out for yourself, because that is what we do. My friend just messaged me and said, I'll buy us coffee. Speaking about coffee. So we've got to take responsibility by healing our past and reviewing our past, not from a space of, poor me, I got it bad, but the situation that I'm thinking about, or what I experienced as a 15-year-old, or I've had a lot. I'm a 3-5 projector. I've had it a little bit rough. Like, it looked kind of normal, but it was a bit rough. To depression, anxiety, whatever, right? Like, that story doesn't matter, but I just want to let you know it's been colorful for me. And I look back to every single thing in my life, and I work on this every single day, including my parents, including the rejection wounds from sisterhood, including all the shit, right? And I look back at it, oh my God, I'm so fucking grateful. Holy shit. I can understand people with addiction. I can understand people who with rejection wounds. I can understand people that had like eating disorders. I can understand people that had, postnatal depression. Holy shit, I'm so grateful for everything. I would not change a fucking thing. So today, looking back I've spent hours today working on myself, going inward and going, let me write to myself, let me write to my mum, like a love letter to myself, a love letter to my mum. Where am I going to be in 5 years from now? Because I know where I was 5 years ago, and I cannot believe how cool and amazing I am that I got so far. But you can't connect. I talk about this in my mastermind as well. We go deeper into these things. So we have one-on-one experiences in there. But it's like, you can't connect the dots going forward because the future hasn't created yet. But you get to create it right now by tapping into who is my future self and what are they doing and how do they feel and how do they act and how do they show up and what do they do to look after themselves? It just makes me think different. My future self, my connection with spirit. This is an upgrade. Upgrading means we collapse timelines, we quantum leap. Do you guys know what that means? We invest in ourselves. We show the fuck up. We do the journal prompts. We take responsibility. We go, I'm feeling this. I'm feeling that. We talked about emotional mastery and psychological flexibility the other day as well. We talked about entities. We've talked about fear and moving with fear, moving with imposter. We've talked about triggers. If I don't trigger you at least once in this 31 days, then maybe we're not doing our job, right? I do trigger people. My 3-5, I'm designed to be a trigger for people, which helps people to activate. So if you're getting like, I want this and I want that, or she's annoying, or she doesn't understand, like, I'm not here to be, I love you, like, come and play and just be. No, I'm here to go, wake the fuck up. Sometimes we have to grow up too, meaning maturity. Emotional maturity, not oozing our energy or blaming other people, going, hang on, I got some shit going on right now. I'm going to go get my journal. I'm going to sit down up here on my deck alone, or make sure, like, I've made sure that my kids are, one's in the bush with his mate, the other one's with her friend in town. I did a kid swap. I'm like, I need space, a lot of fucking space. I just got my period about 20 minutes ago as well, right? I'm going to the chiropractor and I'm going for a walk on the beach with a friend because I'm serving myself so I can serve other people, right? Just been listening to that song. I hope you dance before the spirit is yelling at me. So we're not here to feel sorry for ourselves. We should not feel sorry for ourselves. That's victim mentality. And, I might even trigger some people off this 31-day challenge. And those people won't be my people, or they're not ready to step up. I'm ready to do whatever it takes, and I always have been, to step forward and step into who I am. And sometimes it means I cry. I cried on the weekend. I think I cried yesterday. I nearly cried. I did cry this morning a little bit. And I cry because I'm healing. I'm making my past brighter by realizing it was all for me. I chose it. I created it. I am powerful. I am magnetic. And if I've achieved what I've achieved in the last 5 fucking years, what are we going to achieve in the next 5 years? And guess what? We compound it. We quantum leap. We collapse the timelines. That means I'm going to get double the amount in the next 5 years. And then again and again and again and again and again, right? My coach, she literally, she went from making, I don't know, like a very small amount of money to like $1 million a month, like within a couple of years. And how did she do that? By compounding and compounding and compounding, and coming from a point of view of growth, not fixed, not judgmental. Now, I also want to say to you, sometimes stuff comes up and it feels really uncomfortable, and sometimes anger comes up, and sometimes, like, this is a challenge, right? This isn't a paid program. This is a free program. So sometimes we need to get extra support. This, if you've worked with me before, and pop it down below if you've worked with me and how you've worked with me. Let everyone see. Let everyone see, especially those new people, right? That no one knows what's available. So sometimes you need to get a little bit extra help. Sometimes you might need to get a counselor, a psychologist. Maybe you need to reach out to a friend, and say, I'm not a counselor and I'm not a psychologist. I'm an empowerment spiritual coach. I'm a spiritual empowerment coach. A little bit dyslexic too. It's in my superpower. So sometimes you got to reach out and go, wow, this is coming up. Like, ring your sister. This is coming up for me. I'm feeling all these feelings. I'm feeling rage or anger or sadness. And maybe you need a little bit extra support getting through something. Maybe this brings things up for you. This is an upgrade, and with upgrade means that we are going through a metamorphosis. coming from a place of growth. I've been on and off crying too. Yeah. And this is a very, very powerful space to be. Connecting in with spirit, and this is what I talk about in MM a lot, connecting into spirit is connecting into self. And we discussed this, right? There's number one with mediumship. Connecting into spirit is connecting into self. How well do I know myself? So I'm making some radical moves in my own life. I mean, radical, crazy moves in my life. And the scarier, the better. Wherever there is fear, we know, wherever you're scared and you're in fear, you know you're going in the right direction. That is, I'm just eating my hair right now. That is where you need to lean into, right? If you're scared, if you're in fear, like, you're going in the right direction, because we are meant to be stretching. Now, you've got it. Emotional mastery is all about, and psychological flexibility is all about knowing when enough is enough, knowing if it's too much, not like literally like going off all of your meds or anything crazy like that, or quitting alcohol completely if you've had or cigarettes when you've had a full-on addiction. It's actually getting help with that, right? It's actually going, I need to cut down. What do I have control over? What do I have control over? What feels good for me? Rather than beating yourself up and shaming yourself out of doing things, right? So it took me 11 years to give up alcohol. Even though I was only drinking a couple every other night, it took me 11 years to say, I'm actually no point of return, done. So very ready for spiritual radical growth. I was going to message you today and go, I'm missing you. I need to get my nails done next week. Celebrating 2 years of magnificent mediumship. My first MM led me to working with Victoria one-to-one. Yes. I always wonder if a caterpillar cries. A caterpillar's too fucking busy to cry. They're busy transforming. No, I love it. Yeah, but they do. They dump out everything, right? And they spin it all out and they shed their skin. Shedding your skin, the pleasure and the purpose and desire has to be stronger than the pain. So when I'm sitting there and I've got tears coming, I'm like, bring it. Fucking bring it. I love transformation. I want to do it fast, but whatever you say in spirit is what you get as well, right? So you say, I want to transform with ease, and what I'm capable of. And like I said in the description, or whenever, I don't know where I said it, I may have said it in an email, God gives you what you can handle. We are sparks of God, and we give ourselves what we can handle. So sometimes we can go into fight, flight, freeze, even faint. If we're like, I start freezing up. I'm like, oh, it's too much. So then I've got to stop and regulate. Okay. So this isn't about the fastest person to the finish line. This is about your own transformation. I started in spiritual membership, then MM, now amplified. My life is already so different. Now I'm a psychic medium and pretty much love life. I know I'm moving towards my purpose. Yeah, Stacey, I need to get you on my Instagram to do a live with me. So I need to, been trying to message you. It's your first time. What you got live? The fuckery and growth. Yeah, and those who come and work with me deeper, we talk about emotional waves and human design. We talk about cycles. We talk about rhythms. I want to transform like a rocket. Yeah. Quite often we are transforming and we don't know how far and much we've transformed. I had a client, her name was Letty, and she was doing MM, and she was about the third or fourth week in. And we cover a lot in MM, right? It's like a 12-week deep dive. It's a whole transformational journey. And she goes, I don't really know if I'm getting any results, because Victoria's just talking and it's just kind of easy. Like, I don't know. And then she went and jumped on, and she even said, I don't know if I'm getting results. I'm like, we're only week 3 out of 3 months. Like, but sweet as, whatever. And then she went and she jumped on another live where a psychic medium was talking about entities and boundaries and just all the things that we cover in the first 3 weeks. And she goes, I know that. She goes, holy shit, I know everything that this coach guru is talking about. And then Letty goes, oh my God, I learned this all in MM, but Victoria just spoke it to us in such an easy way without having to be like a book form like really intricate, like I just speak it. She was transforming just in the conversation. And that is the art of learning. And that's the art that I teach. Is the way I'm teaching right now, it seems to be in conversation. And it's not until later down the track that you go, holy shit, I know all of this because I've already learnt this. And Letty, she transformed right then and there. She had the biggest breakthroughs. She started making money in her business. Her TikTok took off. People were booking in with readings with her. She was selling these like spell candles and people were just gifting her money. It was like so crazy. Her children were messaging me saying, thank you, Victoria. Our mum is so different. She's not in fear anymore. Like, it was like mind blowing. So sometimes we don't know how far we've come. And like Stacey saying, it was the best thing ever. And often it's not until people have done it that they look back and go, holy shit, it was that challenge or that masterclass or that program or that conversation, that one-to-one that I had 3 or 4 years ago, like that transformed my whole life, but I couldn't see it at the time because I was in it, right? So look back over the last 5 years, see where you've been, see what you've accomplished, see where you were physically, mentally, emotionally. Like, I'm light years away. I still look the same. You can go look at my stuff and I might look a little bit older, might look a little bit wider, but I'm very different. I'm a lot more mature within myself, within my knowing, within my, my relationships. I'm not such a people pleaser. I don't sign up people because they want to work with me. I'm like, let's have a conversation and see if we're a fit. Let's see how we can work together. See if we're a soul aligned fit. I'm eagerly waiting in September. Oh my God, Sarah, you're going to be so lit in there. You're going to fucking love it. I've grown so much in this last year even. Yeah, only now realizing how far. Yeah, so we've got to look back. We've got to sometimes look back and go, rather than fuck you parents for not giving me so much love. Like we can all blame our parents for shit. No one's had perfect parents. I'm certainly not a perfect parent, that's for sure. Look back and go, holy shit, that all happened for me. I'm wise, I'm courageous, I am love, I am brave. Wow. I understand what it's like walking in other people's boots because my life has been colourful and painful. And I felt it. I felt things. I have felt things. Right? Because often people can't feel much. Psychopaths can't feel much. I've studied a lot of psychopaths. I like studying psychology. I like studying humans. I love you, Stacey. You're beautiful. What you see in me is what is within you. Whether that's beauty, triggers, intelligence, whatever it is. Oh, okay. We're going to leave that there. To know spirit is to know thyself. Doing journaling and giving yourself 20 minutes. Maybe giving yourself 20 minutes today if you possibly can. Finding 20 minutes. I know it's hard when you've got kids. I know it's hard when you've got a full-time job. But this is what I did is when I first started waking up, I found 20 minutes a day. And I didn't give a shit if my house was dirty and messy. And I didn't care. I did not give a shit. I literally hopped into bed, did a teal swan meditation, right? I gave you guys a meditation yesterday. So even if you're like, I'm going to do this for the next 31 days, right? And I just lay there and I was like, this is all I get today. At least I did something for myself. Because I was an insomniac and I had addictions. And although they were class normal addictions, for me, they were an Achilles heel. For me, I knew that I could do so much better than what I was doing. I just didn't know what it was, right? MM and Reborn were awesome. Yes. Okay. Yeah, I know MM is in my near future. September. September's not that far away. We do have payment plans, by the way, as well. Okay, my loves, I'm going to love you and leave you there. Live your life and don't get lost in the future. Just if you can visualize your future self, then you can actually you act differently, because what got you here won't get you there. That's called evolution. Spirit is waiting for you, but it's about getting to a vibration and frequency of connecting in to those dimensions. Okay, my loves. Lots of love.